Hello and welcome to another edition of Picati's Balls to the Wall podcast.
Picati!
I'm Picati editor John T. Mark, and I'm joined today, as per usual, by soccer writer Tsepo Nsoalengwe. Good day, Tsepo.
Good day, John T, and good day to the listeners.
And football writer Sibongiseni Gumbi. Good day, Mr. Gumbi.
Hey, John T. Hey, Tsepo. Yeah, and everyone listening. Good day.
It's been another busy week in South African football, starting off with the Soweto derby on Saturday. Orlando Pirates beating Kaizer Chiefs 1-0, Evidence Makgopa with the winning goal. Another disappointing result for Chiefs in a season that's becoming increasingly miserable for Amakosi fans. We even had a gossip story the other day that Chiefs might be stopping their brand of crisps. Is it that because of their poor results or because people are taking the mickey out of them? We shall discuss that and more things as we go on. Let's start then. Chiefs Pirates. Bongaseni, from a Chiefs perspective, another defeat. Pirates obviously turning them around. Chiefs, I suppose, had on their side that they'd won 5 derbies, Premiership derbies in a row before this one. Now they don't even have that anymore.
I think the difference between those 5 wins is that this time Chiefs tried to play. They tried to just play football and enjoy football and entertain the people instead of just getting in there and just trying to win. Because if you look at how they won those matches, I think of the 5, 3 were because of Pirates' mistakes. Because you remember a penalty by Nda that caused late in the game, also an own goal. There was also some silly mistakes from Pirates, just those goals where, you know, if you're a Pirates fan, you feel, okay, we lost, but it's not a train smash because Chiefs were not there to play. But this time around, Kevin Johnson has come with something different. He wanted to play football. He wanted it to be entertaining. He wanted it to be nice on the eye for people watching it, and it was. So in that way, you open up a little bit, and you're going to lose in that way. I know he complains that it was a mistake from their side with the goal, but I believe it was just a moment of brilliance from Pirates.
2 defeats and 1 win, but happy, says Mr. Gumbi. From a Pirates perspective, this was obviously a big game for them because they hadn't been on a particularly good run either. Yeah. They won in midweek and then they won that one. So 2 wins in a row for them, getting their DStv Premiership campaign back on track. And on top of that, obviously, winning a derby gives you bragging rights over your rivals, and it breaks the jinx that we spoke about before. Tebo, what did you think of Pirates' display?
I mean, in the Pirates side, I think it was always coming because when you look at the way Pirates has been playing, in all those games, in all the previous games prior to the Sikukuni win, they've been playing well, just but it's a pity that they haven't been able to get, those proper results, getting maximum points. But I mean, Pirates have been playing very well, and I'm just happy for Evidence Makgopa. And I'm sure, the fans will start, getting off his back because I'm sure he shows that, he's a quality player and he can score goals. What I love about him is that, and what I love again is that, the way Coach Rivero defends him, because he can see that he does very well for the team, the way he holds the ball, the way he links up with the midfielders. He has been playing very well. Just that it's a pity when he hasn't been able to score, a lot of goals. But after helping the club win the derby, I'm sure now the fans are gonna be relying. I mean, they're gonna be behind him and they're gonna support him so that he can be able to score consistently. But otherwise, Pirates has been playing well, and I wasn't really shocked about the win.
Yeah. Well, a good win for Pirates. Makgopa, of course, also rewarded this week with a call-up to the Bafana Bafana squad for this weekend's FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Benin and Rwanda, replacing Lebo Motiba in the squad. Motiba had to withdraw. Lyle Foster also not there, and we wish him well at Burnley in his recovery. So a day later, we also had a packed stadium at Loftus, albeit fans let in for free to fill up the ground. A sea of yellow as Mamelodi Sundowns beat Wydad Casablanca 2-0 to wrap up a 3-2 aggregate victory in the inaugural CAF African Football League final, bringing home a whopping $4 million on top of the prestige and glamour of lifting the trophy and getting one over their old rivals, Wydad, who have had the better of them in the Champions League over the years. A brilliant result for Rulani Mokwena's men. What did you guys think of that? Good performance and a well-deserved victory.
Sundowns just proved that they are much better than every other team in Africa at the moment. Hopefully they can replicate this in the Champions League.
Yeah, let's hope they can take that forward. Surely the psychological boost of having beaten both Al Ahly in the semi-finals, not the final, and Wydad will give them an immense amount of... the psychological boost from beating those two sides will give them an immense amount of confidence going forward into the Champions League. I believe that's their first game back after the international break. In fact, is they go straight into the Champions League group stages. So that should give Rulani Mokwena's side a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it should. And what I like about it is that it was a sweet revenge for them, because remember, in the last edition's CAF Champions League, Wydad have a very same team who knocked them out of the competition. So it was a sweet revenge for Coach Rulani, and I'm really happy for him, for him to see, collect such a major title, in continental football. I think he deserves it, and the whole Sundowns squad just deserves that trophy, because I think they've been doing quite well, and they have proved everybody in the continent, that they are the best team in Africa. And for them going forward, I think they will have to. I think they will be more eager now to win the CAF Champions League again, because the good thing is that they have the players and the young players who are eager for for more trophies. So getting the second Champions League trophy would be good for them, and for Coach Rulani as well, because of the way he's so ambitious. So, I think Sundowns are going to continue, dominating, domestic football, and dominating, football in the continent, because of the way they have been, handling things in the team. And looking at the squad, I mean, like I said, it's a very young team, and I think they're going to be dominant for a very long time.
Yeah, bit of time wasting from Sundowns at the end of that game that was frowned upon by some people, but I guess it's just payback for what Wydad and Ahly tend to do at the end of games.
They tend to do that, yeah.
It's just using...
They learned from the best.
Yeah,
exactly.
They've learned all the tricks of the trade. It doesn't look good, though. I would try and find a way to discourage it if I was the Confederation of African Football, for all teams, not some.
I saw that it was disgusting even to club president, Patrice Motsepe. You could see that he was not impressed.
I mean, also,
his reaction was like, no, this is not football.
You had FIFA president Gianni Infantino there, and it must have been slightly embarrassing for Motsepe as well. But I mean, I guess, I know in European football they're trying to be harder on time wasting, more yellow cards,
but I think
adding on more time.
Adding more time again.
I think it looks much better if you just pretend to be injured than not taking a free kick like that for 5 players.
Yeah.
Getting yellow cards for nothing, because you can just kick the ball out and claim that you are injured and waste time like that, and not take a free kick. What's the point? What kind of time wasting is that?
Yeah, I suppose you may need to be cleverer with your time wasting, although one could say all time wasting.
Well, I'm sure Sundowns are not that clever when it comes to time wasting, because they are not
don't
used
know.
to it. They don't know. Yeah, they
didn't know what they were doing.
They don't do that.
Well, I remember Itumeleng Kune also back in the day when Chiefs were playing in continental competition, and with Bafana, he used to get a lot of stick for time wasting, and he said, well, they do it, so we've got to take advantage.
Perhaps Rulani Mokona should invite Elvis Chipezeze to one of his training sessions.
Yeah, just teach them.
Because that guy never got yellow cards, but he was a master of time.
King time waster.
So maybe he just needs to, just get him there to just give them a few tricks on how to get away with it.
Well, Bafana Bafana hopefully won't need any time wasting when they play their 2 World Cup qualifiers this week. On Saturday at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban, they take on Benin in their opening Group C FIFA World Cup qualifier. And then on Tuesday, they go to Rwanda to take on Rwanda in their second Group C game. Hugo Broos has publicly said he's targeting 6 points in these 2 games. It's a big group with the likes of Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and obviously the big guns, Nigeria. So Bafana are going to have to get off to a good start, one would think, with only the group winners guaranteed a place at the FIFA World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico in 2026. A couple of striking blows, as we mentioned, with Lyle Foster and Lebo Motiba out of the squad for these games. There is a bit more firepower, though, than usual with Bafana. So we'll have to see who Hugo Broos goes for in those games and how Bafana do. How do you see it, guys, in terms of Bafana progressing? Can they get the 6 points? I guess we can say that they tend to play a bit better against bigger teams, so to speak. So they've got to make sure that they're on the ball from the off, shall we say. We obviously saw them recently only draw with Namibia, then only draw with Swaziland. Better performances against DR Congo and Ivory Coast. So what do you see? What do you see in your crystal ball, Sibongiseni, going into these two games?
I'm happy that you started with time wasting in Bafana Bafana. I just hope they don't waste our time this time around. Because they can be a waste of time. Hopefully, because of the Durban crowd. Because, like, if you'll remember, I wrote a lot about this in my columns previously about Safa not hyping Bafana Bafana enough, but especially with Banyana Banyana. I was complaining about Banyana Banyana, but Safa just don't really hype the teams up. If you look at how it's happening in Durban, there's already a vibe in Durban about Bafana Bafana. There's posters everywhere saying that there's a Bafana Bafana game coming to town. So I hope that vibe translates into the field, and that will lift the boys up. You know, they need that. They need to know that there's a crowd that believes in them. There's people that believe in them. Unlike at FNB, where you can even hear Hugo Bruce shouting at his players and giving them instruction, you know. So that will help. And we need to have a good start. We need to beat Benin 3-0, 4-0. We can do that. We've got the firepower to do that. We've got Africa's best goalkeeper at the moment. We've got the best midfielders in your Tebogo Mkwenas. We've got the best strikers, your Pesitaus. Sakenele Pasa has not been playing, but we know the quality there. So why not? This is our time. This should be our time to qualify for the World Cup again.
Yeah, and Machopa, it must be mentioned, is familiar with Bruce's system. He played, I think, in 5 of their 2022 World Cup qualifiers. So he's not a complete foreigner to the way Bruce wants to play. And I think as a target man, he could get a chance. If you think that Motiba might have got a chance if Motiba was here. Bruce says he's a similar type of target man, a guy that, you know, Bafana don't have in other players. Whereas more, you know, Tau is obviously a brilliant player in his own way, tricky, wide player more. Hlongwane similarly as a winger. There's a lot of attacking firepower there, and Miklali Mayambela's been in good form in Cyprus. They've got options there, and in midfield, as Sibongiseni said, they're missing Batusi Albas still, but there's other opportunities. Who knows, maybe Jaden Adams can force his way into the team. Surprising actually to see him. We have to give credit here to Sibongiseni, because he did say Bradley Cross was a name that we should look out for, making the final 23. And he did make the final 23, so well done, Mr. Gumbi. And yes, but the youngsters did come in, and we shall see what happens there going forward. I don't know if there's been any latest news on Maseko, whether he's fit enough, because there was an injury worry over him in attack. But we'll have to see what happens in that game. Tsepo, how do you see it? Do you think Bafana will get the 6 points that they badly need?
Me being patriotic, I see Bafana going all the way and getting these 6 points. But again, I think the team has been playing very well in the last few months, and they have been very convincing. And like I said previously, we have been able to keep a consistent team in the squad. Coach Hugo Bruce has been able to pick almost the same players for all these games. So I think there's a lot of fluidity that's going on in the team right now, and I think we have one of the best teams in Bafana Bafana we haven't had in a very long time. So I believe in them. I'm confident in the team, and especially looking at all the players that are in the team are players who are doing very well at their respective clubs. Yes, we might be missing Lyle Foster now, we might be missing Lebo Motiba, but we still have some other players who are capable of doing very well for the club, for the national team. And playing against Benin and Rwanda, not to take them very lightly, but these are the teams that we can, just beat them, with ease because of the way we've been playing. And looking at Benin, Benin lost to Madagascar, in their previous game. And, looking at Bafana Bafana, wherever you've been playing, this is guaranteed 6 points for us.
Yeah. Bafana can lose to Mauritania.
Yeah, but at the moment, nah. Come on. At the moment, nah. I have confidence in the team.
I wish I had your confidence. I wish I had. Really. But that's why I want Bafana Bafana to disappoint me this time. Really.
And I'm sure they're going to disappoint you, Spo.
I'll be happy to eat humble pie. I'll be very happy.
So, yeah, that's a guaranteed 6 points. 6 points, That's worse.
6 points guaranteed. 6 points guaranteed.
I hope hunters are not listening to you because we are going to lose a lot of people, a lot of money.
I think so, but they've got to be switched on from the beginning, as we saw against Swaziland and Namibia, even Liberia and AFCON qualifying. You've got to wake up when you're playing these sides that you're expected to beat. So beat them. Yeah. And then we can all be confident going into the AFCON next year. And going forward, otherwise more doom and gloom. We've seen the Springboks win the Rugby World Cup. We've got South Africa playing in the Cricket World Cup semi-final tomorrow. Let's have Bafana playing in the World Cup. Why not? They haven't done it. I mean, Bruce even mentioned 2010 doesn't really count.
Yeah.
We kind of got a gift there. We got so in theory, it's been 21 years since Bafana qualified for a World Cup. Let's get it done, boys. I know it's tough, but let's get it done. Okay, that's it for today. I think please do follow us on Twitter at Pacati with 3 A's. Do like us on Facebook at Pacati with 3 A's. And do subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And we will see. Oh, yeah, sorry, one more thing. Do get your copy of the Pacati supplement free when you buy the Citizen newspaper every Tuesday. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.